Welcome to another silver update. Okay, so in this video, I'm just going to explain the pattern that I see happening here. I'm going to go through each wave step by step. And I also have been doing a lot of research into inflation and fundamentals, not just Arias wave, but just basically studying the whole scenario. So I did make a video on that yesterday. I will post it, link it down below in related ideas. So what's up with the first wave? So the first wave here is basically a type, I think it's just a regular zigzag. It's just got a little bit of an expanded B wave, but it's not really expanded that much. Wave E did come back to roughly the end of wave A. So it's basically just a zigzag there, but it's got good waves there to help identify that. And then we see a couple of zigzags happening afterwards, which are, in my opinion, a B, C, D, E, with E being a weird ending pattern there. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then ending 5. So this was the area where we needed to see a break. Now, this is a mini version of the bigger pattern. So if you can see a little cup and handle pattern here, right, you can see that, and then it moved up. And then if you look at the whole pattern again as a whole, it is also a cup and handle pattern. So there's a cup and handle pattern within a cup and handle pattern. You know the deal, right? It's pretty straightforward, but let's not get into those patterns right now. After this wave E, I believe we saw an interesting wave 1. A small wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we had an A, B, C. The C was around the GFC, and then the following move was a D. Now, according to Arias wave, D waves can be known as the breakout wave. So in this case, a D wave is a deceptive wave that makes people think that the major trend has now resumed, which it would have probably done that to some people. It made a new high and then broke back down. So yeah, D waves do that. Now I'm just going to zoom into the daily chart. Let's have a look. Now, initially I had a different idea on the D wave, but then I looked closer, and to me, this wave here looks like a 3-wave move in itself. So therefore, the chances of it being a 5-wave move as part of a larger zigzag, to me, I had to really think hard about that, and I just couldn't do it. I couldn't come to that conclusion any longer, so I had to just basically change that view and just basically look at this as a D wave, which means that this wave here is an E wave. It's an ending diagonal E wave, and it's subdividing into zigzags. Right? As you can see, the first zigzag, the second zigzag, and then the third zigzag. I cannot make any other pattern out of this move. So I have tried doing it many, many, many times. But at the end of the day, I had to go back and look at all the previous waves in order to come to that conclusion. So at the end of the day, this is the way I see it. This is the most important area out of anything that's gone on before, because this is the end of minor wave 2 of wave 3. Okay, so wave 3 started in this market. It did start back in, we can say this started. Technically, this started in 2001 in this market. Okay, now I will go back to gold in another video. Gold, it's a little bit trickier. I do think it's a similar pattern, but I think there's a couple of differences in gold, and I'm still working on that. I've had a few wave revisions on gold, but I'm just taking a little bit longer this time because I really want to get it right. But I do believe this pattern is much more clearer, and which is great because I've also begun stacking a bit of silver myself, because I think there's great opportunity ahead, not just to trade it, paper trade it, but also to own it. Okay, so what's the deal with the move that's happening now since March 2020? Well, you have to understand that March 2020 was the exact bottom of wave 2 that started in, well, the wave 2 itself started 06. Okay, 06. So there's definitely a lot of significance around these last 14, 15 years, 16 years, whatever it is. Things are definitely coming to a head, and we're starting to see things sort of happen. Now, as you can see, I put these Fibonaccis on. This is since the beginning of the entire move back in, what is it? The early 1900s, right? It's quite a while. And we did have our wave 1 happen, ended in 79, and we did see a pullback. There was a pretty big pullback, 80% plus, and then basically we've come back, and we've been interacting with these levels along the way, but the one that we're interacting with now in terms of what it's doing now, I think it's the 0.38% level, and that's basically what it's hit recently. So I believe that's what it's sort of interacting with right now. But in terms of what wave it is, I did put out an idea on this around the GameStop time, when GameStop was going up, or coming down, should I say. Now, I do believe that we have seen 5 waves here. So the first wave, wave 1, 2, 1, 2, and then 3 all the way up, 4, and then 5. Okay, something like that. Do I think this is coming back down? It's possible that it's going to hang around this area a bit longer before it comes back down. Wave 2 typically does retrace a good amount of the move. Now, even though we're talking about, in this case, it would be, 0.618, it could come back to retest this area here, which is significant. There's a lot of price action going on along that level, which is also in line with the previous 0.618 long term. So you've got a bit of confluence around there. I would say that there's definitely going to be a lot of support around that particular area there. Let's just make it blue. I do think there is going to be something there. But first, I suppose, I do think we've probably seen the first wave 1, although I could be wrong. We may still be seeing another, like a 4-5 happening here, right, to complete the first wave. Okay, so, interesting indeed. We could see another type of, how can I say it? Like another rounded bottom type move moving forward like this. I wouldn't be surprised if we did see that, just because of the way that this market has been, how can you say it, held down over a period of time, right? Some people say it's manipulated. Some people say it's suppressed. Some people say this. Whatever it is, right? Eventually, nothing's going to hold this down. So it's just basically going to move in even faster, even higher, and there's just going to be far more strength behind this move than there would have been otherwise. So it's like an elastic band. The longer you hold it down, the more pressure that builds up, and eventually it snaps back, and it just obviously shoots for the moon, that type of thing. I really do believe that's going to happen, which is part of why I'm personally starting to collect the physical silver. But that's just my opinion. I'm not a financial advisor. This is just for educational purposes. That's basically it. So yeah, that's my view on what's happening here. I do think we have hit a bottom. Any from now on, from here on out, I think it's just a buying opportunity, if anything. Yeah, I mean, nobody really knows what this is going to do. If it's going to go back to the support, if it's going to go below it, it's just nobody can really know for sure, right? But like I said, I do think it's just an ongoing buying opportunity, no matter how you look at it, because once this thing pops, yeah, it's probably just going to get more expensive to buy it, and you probably just want to get in before it does that. And I do think there is still quite a bit of time left to do that. So yeah, hopefully you found this video interesting and informative. Thank you for watching.